Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is the sequel to the first Puss in Boots way back in 2011. In all honesty, nobody thought this movie was happening. There were rumors about it, but up until the first trailer dropped out of nowhere a few months ago, nobody believed this was real. But what do you know, the movie actually happened, and I was lucky enough to see the early access showing last Saturday. Since this movie technically isn't out yet, I will only be referring to minor spoilers, as in what was shown in all three trailers. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish follows the protagonist of the same name struggling to cope with his fear of losing the last of his 9 lives. This struggle leads him on a quest to find the wishing star in the dark forest, so he could wish for his 9 lives back. Based off the concept of a Puss in Boots sequel over a decade later, the criticism of it being just a cash grab banking off the nostalgia for the Shrek franchise can easily be thrown around. But one of the things I love about this movie is it almost immediately justifies its own existence. The theme of mortality is apparent throughout the whole film, both figuratively and literally, which gives it an identity among DreamWorks' ever-growing catalog of films. This theme directly ties into my 2 favorite aspects of the film, Puss and the Wolf. While I can't get into their scenes much due to spoilers, the Wolf is one of DreamWorks' best villains. Simple, but very, very effective. The Wolf is not present for a good portion of the film, but does have the most impact on Puss, leading to some of the best scenes in the film. In moments, this movie can go from a fun adventure with Puss in Boots to DreamWorks' darkest since Kung Fu Panda 2. In addition to his own mortality, Puss also deals with regrets in his life, and he needs to learn to live his current life to the fullest. There's a few other characters that also have their own little stories going on, like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears and Kitty Softpaws, but due to spoilers, I won't be covering them in this video. All I can say is Kitty and Puss's relationship is expanded on in a fun way, and Goldilocks is fleshed out to the point where you can sympathize with her. The only real outlier to the characters is Jack Hornet. He works as a secondary antagonist and is more thrown to the sidelines. Even with what he's given, he's just fine. He's pretty much just an evil businessman, but the film is sort of self-aware about it, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. If I had any issues with this film, it does center around Jack Hornet and a decision they make with him in the 3rd act, which I will cover eventually when the film is officially released. But even with those issues, this film feels like it had a lot of care put into its production. Unlike many films nowadays, it has something to say, which makes it feel more like DreamWorks' golden age than any film has in recent years. Don't think twice about seeing it when it comes out December 21st. I know I'll be seeing it a second time. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a film I'd recommend any day.